Hey everyone, it's Jonna, the Preppy Crafty Girl, and I just want to do a quick show of what I am sending Meg at Chasing Retro. I'll link her channel below. I contacted her because I had been wanting to do the dephemerember. I have such a hard time saying that. With Louisa Heinzel and Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. And here is the hashtag, which I will link below. And there's their information. And it is a December daily of making ephemera. And so you can go to their channels. I'll link them below. I'm super excited about this. Uh, Megan and I have a common aesthetic of loving the retro 50s, 60s, 70s kind of a feel. And so I just reached out to her because I'm not as much a mixed media. Well, I guess I do mixed media art, but I do it in a different way. So than how Louisa and Barbara do it. I do enjoy that and I do that style, but currently right now I'm working on some projects that are not really that grungy style, so aesthetic. So I do love it. And I'm going to try to incorporate it into maybe some of the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s look. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I contacted Meg because I needed a partner that kind of had the same aesthetic. And so she was up for it. And we decided to go ahead and exchange our 50 items. I may have cheated a little bit and put in more items because I know that she was working on a couple of projects. So I'm sending some stuff. But anyway, so I filled this packet and I'm gonna drop this in the mail. I have to do this in a hurry because I gotta get to the post office before it closes. But what's interesting is they gave us this printout. It's on, this one is the one that's on Louisa's channel. And then there's also another printout that you can do for like a label or use it as a page or whatever. And it is on Barbara at 49 Dragonflies YouTube channel. If you go, I'll link the challenge, their videos to those challenges so that you can just click below and then go right there. And anyway, I printed it out and I went ahead and I incorporated the Preppy Crafty Girl into the logo. And so she's checking out Effie is their little mascot for this year's challenge. This is the third year they've been doing it. And after last year, I really wanted to do it, but I didn't have a partner. And so this year they said, well, just be your own partner. And then I thought, I could do that. But I was so happy that Meg went ahead and said that she did it. So I'm super excited. And yeah, so let me go ahead and just show you what I'm sending. Oops, this is upside down. So I'm not going to put this up until I know that she has her mail. And so what I did was when I was going through collecting some of this stuff, I found I've been setting aside some giraffe items for her. And I have a little card in here and it has, of course, a giraffe. So I included that, and I didn't, a good junk journaler, when they send a card, they don't ever write actually in the card. So I tacked a note in there for her. I found this game, I guess it went to the preschool, Fisher-Price preschool toy, and you put the magnetic letters in here. But it had a giraffe, so I'm sending that. And then I found this in one of my recent magazines. And then she just recently got a piano, and I found this ad. So I just wrote a little note saying that if she wanted to journal about the piano she just got, then I included that little ad, or she could use it, whatever. And here's another giraffe. This was in a book that I had. Okay, so that's kind of not on topic, but stuff that she could use. And then I found this at an estate sale recently, so I included M for her name, and I know she likes pink and orange together, so I included some of this chiffon. It was like it's from a rug, and I undid the rug and got all this interesting fabric. So anyway, I included that just to tie it all together. And let's see. So I started here, put a little note on here from, this is from a little golden book notepad that I had. And I made this little fabric flip from it says the Holy Bible. So I thought she could use that, and this little fabric clip. Hope I can get it all put back. This was a napkin decoupaged little bag that I could put the little small items. So in this challenge, we're supposed to send 50 items to our that they can use in their ephemera to our swap partner. And so of course I have like 2 sets of 50 because I have one that are actually scraps, and then 50 items that were just kind of laying around my studio and things that I picked up recently that I thought she would like. So some of the things I picked up recently, I don't think I've shown these videos yet, but anyway, I got a whole mess of these vintage airmail and postal labels. So I included some of those. I also had gotten these cute little envelopes. So this is more like what I have found recently at going to estate sales. I recently got these little daisies. Everybody knows that I'm like the daisy queen. I love daisies, everything daisy. And so I had found these in a recent estate sale. And then I also picked up some recent little postage stamp things. So from the 1950s and such. So I'm sending that. I also got these little clips at the estate sale recently. A discard. So I got these little cards. So I'm sending playing cards. I also got one of these. And it is from, I don't know, these has Portuguese, but I thought the colors were super pretty in here. Oh, super pretty in here. And there are some like religious figures, I think. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I thought these were kind of cool, and they were really pretty colors. So I thought she could incorporate that in stuff that she has. But the real reason why I'm sending that was that this person that I bought these from put them in their weekly missions and benevolence fund in their weekly offering. So anyway, I thought that was really cute, those little envelopes, and they use them for their postage. I watched a video on, what was her name? Gail Augustinelli, and she did a little thing where she saw this. So she picked it up from somebody else, and I don't know who that was, but where they made an altar paper clip from these coin rolls papers. And I had this really cool vintage one with that pattern on it. So I made her the start. She could either use it like this or she can decorate them. I got a new typewriter recently, and I found these roll labels right here, these Oxford roll labels. And so I typed up a scripture on here for her. And here is a really sweet little pearl button card. And then I need to tip everything that way I can just flip it over. Here's just a little bulb pin with like a button and some little fabric pieces. And then here's a little pattern girl out of the pattern book that I have, counter book. And then a little pocket I made out of some watercolored, I die cut the watercolor paper. I did like a print on it, jelly print. I don't know. This just was in my scraps, so I threw it in there. This was out of a game. These I just recently acquired, and I just stuck a file label over where the guy's name was so she could write in whatever she wanted. But I thought this was super cute because it's a woman and a man on a couch reading books. I thought that was really cute. And then here is one of the tea bags, and I had avocado dyed the tea bag tag and some vintage sheet. She could turn into a ruffle or whatever. And then I stamped with archival ink on some linen, some numbers that she could cut out. So that is what was in this little packet. Okay. And then this was out of a book. So I just tucked all that in there. I'm gonna put that on there. Sorry, I have to put this stuff back or I'm not gonna remember how I did it. Okay. So there's that. Then my recent find was a giant book, not book. Oh my goodness, a giant yo-yo blanket. And so I cut up some pieces and I'm including that. Thought that'd be cute on her journal or on a page or whatever. Some yo-yos, or she could cut them apart. I stitched up an envelope out of this one of these book pages, out of a gardening book that I had that was a binder. I put some ribbon through the holes. It already had the holes. And then in here, I put one of these cards, some sample. She's doing, I think she said she was doing, I don't know. Anyway, it was like off a fabric sample book. So I took all these off. And then also there's a heavy duty divider, vintage divider, and then a hand like this. I don't know what they call this. It looks like handmade paper, but I'm not sure. It has speckles in it. Okay, so that is in there. Oops. Then I have this, and I made this little cluster, and this is a joke between her and I because blanket binding has followed me everywhere, and she was the first one to put in the comment section some ideas to do with blanket binding. So anyway, I had this little thing. I just made a little cluster and stuck it on here. And this is out of, I made an envelope out of a vintage sewing book that I have, and I love the green, and I just stitched on some binding trim. And then in here is big giant number. I put in, and I wrote on it so she would know what it was, but I made some vintage tape out of some vintage tape. So this, I got a couple of rolls of vintage tape, and I even made them look more vintagey-er. Then I got this thing, some labels, oh, a giraffe. This is some of that paper roll that I just got in an estate sale. This was some of the alcohol ink that I went and put on a acetate. I did that in a video a few weeks ago. And a time card. And then this is an old, it is already stained and everything, vintage divider, cardstock divider. It's pretty green. So that is going in there. And then this little envelope, this little bag, it's like a cutlery bag from the barbecue place, and I asked for a couple extra ones. So yeah, I'm like that person. And I get them from my friends sitting at the table. Okay, and I put some paper beads in here, colorful little paper beads you could make a charm out of. And this was actually when I went to England, a friend of mine gave me a little roll of those old bus or train tickets. So I put one of those on that. And then, okay, I'm going to wait for this. I found these, I put in one of these make you happy little, they were flashcards. I know she said she was going to do a cat journal, so I put a couple of pages that has the cat, baby, and kitten in it. Some vintage shelf liner, wood grain, love it. Yes, I'm giving some of it up. A ledger, number page, kitchen surprise. I know she's doing some kitchen journals. And also I put it in here because it has a rain page. She's got her little umbrella. And yeah. Some typewriter paper I just recently acquired, onion skin typewriter paper. And then I have a 1939, I think it is, Montgomery Ward. So I included some pages out of that. Let me see. Oh, 1957 Montgomery Ward. I'm going to put it that way. some vintage wrapping paper, big giant piece of map in my favorite colors, and I had die cut some alphas out of it, so I thought that could be fun to use as a background for her. Some happy smiling faces out of a yearbook. This is, I think it's German. It's an old German book that I have. So I put a piece of paper in there. I think from I think it's from 1869. Housekeeping duties. Look at this. Isn't that cute? She said she was going to work on some housekeeping stuff. And I put this in here. So sweet with a little doll. South Carolina pages and a South Carolina map. And then, it's on the other side. And then some wallpaper, pretty cabbage roses. And then I sent her a sheet. I had to fold it. Sorry, Meg. But it came out of the Hampton Inn in Columbus, for Columbus Inn Limited in Columbus, Georgia. This is from 1985, but I acquired some of those blueprints when I first actually moved here. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is this is what you're actually supposed to do. You're supposed to take stuff out of your scrap bin and you share 50 pieces. So I put, this is 50 pieces of stuff out of my current scrap bin. I'm closing this in case we have a certain challenge because this kind of is 50 pieces, but this is what we're really supposed to do. Alrighty. So I did a little bag and just stamped and did a little bit of paint and a bird on there. I had some sheet scraps and a little bit of lace. So there's some little scrap ruffle, and then I just clipped it. That. And then, there's a tiny little bird and an embossed little coin folder. These are music paper die cuts. A little bent. And a die cut. Some die cuts. There's an ice cream cone and a little flower. These were some new old stamps that I got. So I just stamped them out on here. I guess it was just in my, I think I was testing it out for my show. See if they worked. Bird. I don't even know what this was. Some music paper. And then this is Italian wrapping paper that I had actually got in Italy. And this is some kind of bag bit. This is cut off from some ribbon that was in there. This is a bag bit. I have no idea. And some embossed paper bits. Some painty papers. My underpaper from something. Another bird flying around in there. Book page with some colorful alphabet. This is jelly paper that I die cut out of. Add. Bottom of a notepad, I think. Side of a book page. Bottom of a card on watercolor paper. Some random flower. Some random, this came off of, I think, a ribbon reel. Page, birds. Here's another die cut jelly plate paper. This came out of an old magazine of some sort. This is a embossed vellum paper that I guess I jelly plated on. Some Asian newspaper. I guess this was in my thing. It had Psalm 23:5 on it. I guess I did this for one of my journals challenges, and I never used it. A piece of that. I guess this was a chicken feet, chicken body. I don't know. Out of what's that stuff called? A light bright, a vintage light bright. What that is. Okay, this is like a book inside of a book. cover, some random pictures out of magazines. This is something I stamped on a bag. Yeah, some vintage wrapping paper piece. This is a Red Cross Steri pad. No idea. It was in my scrap thing. Thought, hey, you could try to use it. It's already grungy. I didn't grunge that. That's really grunge. Kitten. Some book paper. A little girl with her whatever. Some coffee dyed or tea dyed. I think this might be coffee dyed. Ledger. Scrap of wallpaper. Some words. We burp, question mark, or why do we? I have no idea how you want to use that, or you just use why or do, or we, you don't have to use the word burp on the other side. And then there's some of this packaging. I just thought that was kind of fun texture. So yeah, so that's the 50 pieces of ephemera that I am sending to her for the challenge. Of course, she could use all the other stuff too, but this is what was in my scrap bin to use for the dephemerember, hold on one second. Dephemerember challenge by Louisa Heinzel and Barbara at 49 Dragonflies. So this is my package that's going out today in the mail. I hope she enjoys opening it and enjoys her ephemera for the challenge in December. So look forward to that. We're going to be making little ephemera pieces in the month of December. So check out the links below. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe and the notification bell. And I appreciate you watching and hanging in there. See you guys later. Bye-bye.